there's an opening. You can splice
That's
it
okay,
together.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. All right. So, what I want to show today is a misunderstanding people have about practical skill sets and movement. And I want to show this misunderstanding, the basis of it, because it's very important. And I'm going to show that situations in a real scenario, an evolving situation, demand a certain understanding of movements that we neglect in regular training and what a lot of people consider inappropriate. So I'm going to start by being absolutely ridiculous and telling you Aikido movement is actually very functional movement, okay? So starting with that premise, a couple of things to show you. If you're a bouncer, for example, okay, and you want to take somebody out of a bar, one of the best techniques is called Sankhya. Here, up here, okay? Getting to his side here, okay? This is an Aikido technique, okay? Controlling him by the shoulder, okay? Now, that's one particular movement in one particular context. Let's re-examine that a little more generally. You have Aikijutsu called Daitoryu, which has circular movements, okay? Now, one of the problems that you have in an evolving street encounter is you never know how many people you're fighting. Big problem, okay? This movement, this is circular movement, and it's based on a couple of considerations and assumptions. One is that you're in a confined area. This was developed by bodyguards, and it was developed to be used, among other places, in castles, because you have to guard people in these spaces. Now, you have to be very good to be a bodyguard, because you have to anticipate what your person is going to do next. You cannot go in there and simply shut the situation down, okay? So the level of expertise was very respected when we talk about Daitoryu Aikijutsu, okay? Now when you see it, it's taught in a way that people look at it like, what is this stuff? It doesn't look like it's practical at all. Instead of showing you technique by technique, we're going to go by the principles that we teach, and I'm going to show you the movements that will demonstrate why this is such special movement, okay? Let's look at a typical scenario for multiple opponents. I have my two sons here to help me in this, because we're going to need more than one person. Let's look at what our general options are, and let's look at each one of them as we evaluate. If I try to go straight back and forth very quickly, even if I'm the aggressor with one opponent, the other opponent is right here, okay? I might be able to work that on the flanks. That's not a bad strategy. So they both come towards me, and I come to the outside, go this way, one more time, boom, okay? That's not a bad strategy, but it gives me very little readjustment on their part, okay? Let's watch that in slow motion. Again, when he comes here, now, for him to make a readjustment, he does have to make a readjustment. That's a good thing, but it basically, he can take one step, okay, to be in front of me again and be pursuing me, okay? So, not bad, but limited to a large extent if we go by the flanks. The other way is to use very nice oblique angles, okay? So again, they both attack, okay? I use an angle here, maybe I come back this way, yada yada. It's not a bad thing to do either. However, as a general movement, I can be effective if I'm very aggressive, if I set them up. Problem is, there's not much readjustment on their part. And let's go slow and let's watch this. He attacks first. One, okay, so now I'm at an angle. Basically, I have an advantage. They're stacked right now, okay? He's not going to stay there. He's going to try to get to me somehow. So maybe I move here. And he steps around to get me in. As you can see, not horrible, but I'm still having to react to the potential for both of them to attack me, okay? And I've got to pull a technique out of that. So I'm here, And you're right here, okay, one of them attacks, doesn't matter. Boom, okay. I have to throw technique here, which, again, not bad, okay, possible. But as soon as I throw technique here, I've got to deal here, okay? Let's talk about this circular wind movement that I'm going to show you. And let's understand why it's so important, okay? Same scenario, we're here, okay? Okay, and they make some sort of an attack. Okay, watch one more time. We'll go this time, I'll go this way. Again? What is the advantages of that movement? If you notice, it requires a full adjustment on their part with very little movement on my part. Attack again. I now have considerable distance from them, okay? And I haven't had to move much at all, okay? When you're throwing techniques, here's the problem that people make. It's static in a training scenario. So we'll go back to I'll attack the flank. They both come into attack. Boom, here, 1, 2. He stands there, takes the punch, and he comes in. But it doesn't work that way in a real situation. They're moving, and we're two opponents. We could have 5 opponents, okay? And I might have to just be able to get a weapon out, all right, as an equalizer, regardless. So the problem that you have here is that things don't happen statically, okay? They happen dynamically. Now what I want to show you is, let's say, for example, I'm going to make the circular movement, and he grabs me, okay? Okay? Very little adjustment on my part, and I can keep controlling him. With this guy, he attacks again. Same sort of thing, sorry. All I'm doing is, I'm not trying to do a technique here. I'm showing a general set of movement, okay? Attack. Okay, I'm just simply using basic Aiki Jitsu movement, okay? Okay? What happens in a real situation is, let's say, we'll go slow. You both attack at the same time. 1, boom, I grab, keep attacking. I come here, I grab this, hit 1, I move through. I can keep moving very easily, okay? And I don't really even have to be concerned about their flank or an angle. On the other hand, if I'm trying to use angle, same scenario. So again, boom, boom, boom. I can do it, but I'm exerting a lot more energy, okay? And I have to be able to throw a technique as I'm moving back. So I have, my options are limited, okay? Same thing going solo. 1, 2, I can try to throw a technique here and be aggressive, coming through here. As I'm throwing here though, he can grab my leg here, boom, and now I'm wrapped up, okay? So you have more options, okay? It's as simple making them have to totally readjust their attack line with a simple movement, okay? They attack. See? Okay. So now we can talk about throwing a technique, because now we have options, okay? And again, it might surprise you. Let's go and play devil's advocate. Let's talk about Aikido. He grabs my wrist, okay? See where his arm is here? I'm not going to try to stay angled him because he's here, okay? He attacks, whatever. Boom, okay? Or one of them grabs for the choke. Okay, from here now, he keeps pursuing me. I want to do this. Even if I do this, he's in front of me, he's attacking me, he's coming around. Right? All these things that can happen. Let's just go back to movement and work technique from there. Same attack. 1, boom, boom. Okay? In every case, I don't really have to concentrate much. I'm not trying to position it. Now, I can do the same thing with martial skill. Same attack. But the point is to not have to use martial skill so much and to use natural body movement and build your technique from there, okay? So, we'll go slowly. One more time. 1, boom, okay? Boom, okay? 3 techniques, but even here, I'm not trying to lock him up, okay? I'm not entangling with him. See this? I'm not even grabbing him this hard. I'm just here so that he comes around. He hit me again. And there we are, okay? We're in a similar situation. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get your eye?
Good.
Say here. Just, okay. So, how much time do we have?
10 minutes.
Okay, we'll go another few minutes on it. So, very simple movements, okay? Works especially well for weapons, okay? I'll just show as a base technique against weapons. You take a stab at me, boom, okay? Same circular movement here, okay? I don't have to hold his weapon here. He pulls the weapon back. I just follow him in, okay? And step around some. Controlling his thumb, okay? What is that movement? The movement is very simple. He comes here. 1, 2. I'm not even waiting for him, if you notice. 1.
Did this so they can see.
Okay, yeah, this one? Oh, this one.
So she can see.
Okay, when he comes in here, 1, 2. Okay, I go right back with him. And now, with this circular movement, I have control of him. So, let's talk about options. If I'm just fighting him, I can deal with this. If he's coming around, I can come here. Okay? And again, none of this, if you notice, is particularly complicated. I'm not really utilizing a lot of skill. I'm understanding the value of this Aiki Jitsu movement, okay? You throw the punch. 1, 2, okay? Control, right? Just control. 2, boom. Control, right? Boom, boom. Anything he does, I'm simply moving with it and I'm circling. Now, I know I'm not trying to exaggerate to the point of ridicule. I know you don't just play around like this. What I'm showing you is how effective the movement is. And you control when you want to use technique. Stab again. 1, pow. Okay? There's a technique. Bam. Okay? There's a technique. It's done. Pow. There's a technique. Okay? If you want to 10 fast. If you have another person to deal with when he stabs, 1, boom, see? I control. I don't have to, boom. I can use him here because he wants to control this knife. Now, very important. If I grab his wrist and he pulls back, right? If I grab his thumb, not happening. That's where your technique comes in. That's the point where we want to concentrate a little bit on technique with what we're doing. And in Aiki Jitsu, that's where the wrist holds really matter. He throws that punch again. 1, 2, from here, and this over it. His wrist here. Now I can break this down. I'm grabbing his fingers, turning, pushing his elbow. You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay? If I want him to fall down, I don't try to push him or use one of these strong movements. I just make a circle in. See? See the control of the elbow? Okay? I've got perfect control over him because his balance is not broken. It's just this movement. It's the same circular movement. So again, cultural assumption. In ancient Japan, you could get attacked. You had no reason to believe it would be one person. Okay? So you didn't fight like you were being attacked by one person. Okay? The people that were professionals, okay? Like bodyguards. You fought as though you expected there would be multiple attackers and weapons involved. So, that's useful for us. Same thing applies today, if you understand it. You see something like this guy teaches, oh, I went here, I grab the wrist, and I just come here, and here, and this, and that. You think, man, that stuff doesn't apply to real situations. But what the art is based on this. He grabs here, boom. First of all, never letting him really grab me, okay? And you notice he just came in here. I didn't ask him to attack me. He came in here. But you notice how I'm in a position already here where I'm covered. He throws that punch. It doesn't matter. As soon as I see this come here, using my peripheral vision, even if he catches me a little bit, boom, it's a glancing blow. And this is here. Okay? It's built into the logistics of the system. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys. That'll be really good.